Hello and Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Mathematics with Shahab Yaqub. From this S1 paper of October November 2012, we are trying out this particular paper, the variant 62. Now let's look at the first part. The first part that seems that it's about combination, and we will double check this in a short while. Now the very first thing that I do is to make a box around the part that we are doing, and sometimes it does not become a rectangle. Now it has. Now what is the first thing that needs to be done? That is a team of 3 boys and 3 girls. So let me underline it properly. 3 boys and 3 girls is to be chosen from a group of 12 boys and 9 girls to enter a competition. But now here comes the catch. That is, there are 2 people, Tom and Henry. They are 2 of the boys in the group. They are part of this group. They are included in these 12. Find the number of ways in which the team can be chosen if Tom and Henry are either both in the team. So Tom and Henry are either both in the team or both not in the team. Now the very first thing that I'll write over here, that this is about combination. So you have to specify which particular technique or strategy or idea that you are using. Now in this first part, first of all, let me write over here boys. Let me write over here girls. Let me write over here Tom and Henry. So there is a person Tom. There is a boy Henry. These 2 are boys. So therefore these 12 reduces to 10. That is the first thing. And what about the girls? The girls remain as it is. So there, the issue about selection is with the boys and not with the girls. Now let me draw some lines, and there are 2 lines I think that I need to draw. So let me draw these lines, and let me just erase this one and make it more straighter over here, something like this. Now first of all, let me write 3 over here, let me write 3 over here, 3 over here, and 3 over here. Now the working that I'm doing is that they both are in the team. So if they are both in the team, that means this person is in the team, this person is in the team. That means since I need 3 boys all together, so now I just need 1 of them, because this is selected, Tom is selected, and Henry or Harry is selected. So now the first thing that I'll write is that 10C1 into 9C3. If you want to write for this one, that is 1C1, 1C1, we know it's a 0. It's a 1, not a 0, it's a 1. Remember this thing, NC1 is in, NC0 is 1, NCN is 1. So these comes in handy. So there is no need of writing this thing, that is 1C1, 1C1. So because it's already 1. So now 10C1 into 9C3, you multiply it out, this comes out to be 840. That is the answer for this particular stage, this particular row. Now these 2 boys are not selected. That means I still need 3 boys out of 10. I still need 3 girls out of 9. So what should I write? I'll write 10C3 into 9C3. And this comes out to be 10080. So let me add it all up. The total over here, that is 840 plus this value. How much is that? 10920. This answer is exact. Leave it in this form. Now again, let me emphasize. If a 0 is selected, that means for Tom, I can write 1C0. I know that 1C0 is 1. Again for Harry, I can write 1C0, that is 1. So there is no need as such of writing this out. So that is the first part that is done and dusted. Now let's focus on the second part, and let me just highlight this thing. So it says that the back row of a cinema has 12 seats. So it's the back row of a cinema. There are 12 seats which are empty, all of which are empty. Now a group of 8 people, including 2 people, Mary and Francis, sit in this row. Find the number of different ways they can sit. Now the number of different ways they can sit, it's about permutation. That is the first thing. In these 12 seats, if there is no restriction, so the first part is pretty basic. The first part is out of 12, 8 people will sit in and they will arrange themselves. Order does make a difference. So therefore, this answer comes out to be a big number. That is 19958,400. Again, this answer is exact. Leave it as it is. Let's focus on the second part. On the second part, it says, Mary and Francis do not sit in seats which are next to each other. Now, in this part, there are a lot of possibilities. Let's say Mary is over here, there is a gap, and then Francis, and there is a gap, and so on. So there are so many possibilities. So what needs to be done? What I'll do is that, let me find the possibilities that Mary and Francis are together. But now there is a catch. It's not that there are 8 seats and 8 people, it's 12 seats. So I need to make a diagram. So let me do this. Let me make some seats. 1, and then 2, and then 3, and then 4, and then 5, and then 6, and then 7, and then 8, and then 9, and then 10, and then 11, and then 12. So ignore the size, because I don't want to waste time in just making all of them of the same size. So let me just write it down. And let me just first copy this thing, this huge thing. And let me draw different lines so that you can have a pretty good idea what will be happening over here. So this is 2, 3 lines. This is 4 lines. And let me do this thing. Let me grab this bunch of 4 rows, which I'm calling the line also. And let me put it over here. Okay, another 4. That is 8. And hold for a second. I need more space. So let me add a page over here. And another 4 over here. So I've drawn 8 lines. Now let me show you the positioning of Mary and Francis. So this is Mary in purple and Francis in red. So let me write over here, this is Mary and this is Francis. That is starting from the extreme left. Now let me write again over here, this is Mary and then second position, third position, fourth position, fifth position, sixth position, seventh position, eighth position, and this is ninth, and this is 10th, and this is 11th, because over here Francis will come. So Mary, Francis, it goes like this. So a little diagrammatic representation will be helpful. Now it's not necessary that you draw all these circles in the exam. You can just make a pattern out of it. So therefore, this is line 1. So let me write over here, this is line 1 and this is line 2, line 3, and it's slipping away, line 4, line 5, line 6, line 7, line 8, line 9, line 10 and line 11, and that's the end of it because it has reached the very last stage. So let me just erase all of this. So there are 11 lines in which Mary is sitting first and Francis next. Now what about the rest? How many positions are there? So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Out of 10, I need to fit in how many people? Out of 10, I need to fit in 6. So now the answer is this. For Mary and Francis, I'll say there are 11 lines and they need to be arranged in 10p 6 ways. And they could be Mary and Francis or Francis and Mary. They can also arrange themselves in 2 factorial ways. Are you getting the hang of it? So there are 11 lines. For each line, there is 10p6 and they can be arranged in 2 factorial ways. First Mary, then Francis, or first Francis, then Mary. So 11 more lines. So therefore, this is 2 factorial into 11, that is 22 into 10p6 for the rest of them. So this is for the rest of them. And now grab your calculator and evaluate. So this answer is coming out to be how much? It's a big number. So this is 3 and then 3, 2, 6, 400. This is for Mary and Francis together. So this is Mary and Francis together. That is what we have worked out. And this is without any restriction. So therefore, the final answer, Mary and Francis, not together, that is without any restriction, R-E-S-T, restriction, minus together, Mary Francis, that will give me my answer. So let me write down the big number. That is 19958,400 minus this number 3326,400, and use a calculator. Of course, I'm just showing all the steps because the examiner needs all the steps. That is 16. So this is 16632000. This is an exact answer, and that is the answer for which part? This is the answer for second part, and this is for 3 marks. Yes, sometimes difficult question, actually most of the times the difficult question are not worth that many marks. Now part 3 is much more easier than this one. This is also diagram based, and that is why sometimes a lot of diagrams are a must. So part 1 and part 2 are done. Let me move to part 3. So let me draw a box for part 3, that is over here. It says all 8 people sit together with no empty seats between them. So now let me write part 3 over here. Let me make a long box of 8 seats. So that is a long box, and that goes like this. And this is for 8-seater. So these 8 seats are together. And what is left? Over here, there are 4 empty things, empty seats that are left. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So now that is the first positioning that's done. Now how many lines can be drawn? So this is line 1 that is drawn over here. This is line 1. Now let me copy this thing, and first of all let me just erase this top thing, and let me just copy this 8-seater thing over here, and let me draw it over here, and let me draw it over here, and you are getting the idea what exactly I'm trying to do. I'm trying to just move this one by one, and I think I have pretty much achieved what I wanted to achieve. So let me use a green marker for that circle. So now 3 circles are at the end. Ignore the sizes, 1, 2, 3, and 1 at the front. And now 2 at the front, 2 at the end. And if it's not that big, it won't make sense. And then 3 at the front and 1 at the end, and 4 at the front and none at the end. So now you are getting what is happening. So now this is 8-seater, that is 8 factorial. This is also 8 factorial. This is also 8 factorial, 8 factorial, 8 factorial. And these are the empty seats. So these are empty. So first 8 and then 4 empty. First empty, 8 seats, then 3 empty. First 2 empty, then 8, then 2 empty. First 3 empty, then 8, then last empty. First 4 empty, and then 8 seats. So how many lines are there? This is line 1, line 2, line 3, line 4, line 5. So the answer is 8 factorial into 5 lines. That is the answer. So this question is all about lines. So therefore, just grab a calculator or just check the answer from here. This is 201,600. So that's 201,600. That is the exact answer that we have obtained. So this is a very, very famous question. And this is about Mary and Francis and the cinema seats. And that is a classic question that has appeared in which particular year? So that particular year is this thing, 2012, and 12 years have passed. So expect the unexpected. Something like this could come in the years to come, maybe in 2025. Stay tuned for more mathematical content on Mathematics with Shahab Yaqub.